Okay. So super excited, Siri and Tiffany, for you to meet. Siri, I know that you read Tiffany's poem on ableism and you performed it to your class. And I'm so excited that you get to ask Tiffany whatever you would like. Tiffany, thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to let Siri take it away.
Okay. Well, the main questions that I have was when you're posting the poem, are you scared at all, and did you get any pushback on it? And I mean, if you had, or how did you respond to it?
That's a really good question. I was honestly terrified. I was really touched when you reached out wanting to talk to me about this, because I don't know if I've done something that vulnerable in like a really long time. I almost didn't like publish the poem. Like I wasn't sure anyone would like it. Like I don't know how to write poetry. Like I felt really insecure and like very vulnerable posting it. And so it meant a lot that you liked it, because I kind of was worried that no one would like it, or like everyone would think like, oh, she doesn't know how to write a poem, like, you know, just judging me on like actual like ability. So yeah, I was super scared. And then how I worked through it is I just did it. Like that I had been like working on the poem like for a long time, like on my notes on my phone, and just I realized I needed to submit something for the International Stuttering Awareness Day conference. I just said I was going to. I didn't have anything, and so I did like quickly edit it, and then I didn't read it, and I just sent it, and then I panicked. But you know, I feel good about it now. So especially now that you benefited from it, that's like all that matters. Is someone liked it.
Yeah, originally when I had first read it, I thought you were a professional poet from just reading it because it was beautiful. And the amount of power, especially in the last stanza, I think, it's just like it makes everyone feel so like you're just in this uh, room full of power. It's really amazing. I think for performing it, I had done it for an oratorical festival that my school held, and it had felt so amazing to say it, just to say all the things out loud. And I don't know, there's something so beautiful about the poem, and you did a really good job with it.
Wow, well, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. That's like the nicest thing you could say. Thank you. I'm really glad that you performed it. Like, that's so brave of you. Like, at a festival, like, that's amazing.
I mean, I have been kind of terrified before, and I think that the thing I was most worried about is because the poem itself, it doesn't. It's not exactly. It doesn't say anything that's rude exactly, but I guess like I had been kind of worried that absolute speakers would be kind of taken aback by it in a way, or
Mhm.
almost. I mean, it was not offended, but like just kind of concerned or something, and I had
Yeah.
been worried about that. But that's against what I thought everyone was super interested in, saying like, oh, I want to learn so much more about stuttering now, and I have been so happy that it went really well.
That's awesome. Well, good for you. That's all you. You know, you created that change, like them wanting to learn more. Like that's so amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, and the other question was, I think like really made you want to write the poem. Like, what was the for you?
That's a good question. I mean, a lot of times when I sit down and write something creative or just about my experience, it's when I'm feeling kind of low, like I'm not feeling super great about like stuttering, about whatever. And so it's kind of my way to like release that. Like those feelings, like a way to kind of like process it and like sit with it and release it. And so I think the first time I started writing it, which is when I wrote a lot of the content, I was just frustrated by the way some people treat me and like the way that society views stuttering. And so I was like laying in my bed and like just typing on my phone. And then when I really put the piece together, like towards the like closer to the conference, I was reading through it and I'm like, well, I want it to like, it was kind of depressing at first. And so I'm like, I want it to have like a positive note because I don't always like just kind of feel bad. I also feel like I recognize the way society treats stuttering and I can have like power despite that and like through that. And so the second part of the poem was written later and that was more of a like how I respond to it. So the poem was meant to be like how I used to feel and how I feel now. It was just a little bit like combined, but that was kind of the way that it was written.
I really love how gradual the poem feels. Like it's like you're very like scared and afraid in the beginning, but then you become so much more proud and okay to be a person who stutters in the end. And I think it's also really powerful for kids, especially who's just a stutter. And I mean, definitely for me, being a person whose experience with stuttering is a little bit different because I started being a person who stutters a little bit later. I think it was like when I was 10. So it had been kind of scary for me, feeling like there was just like this really big shift and feeling just afraid and like wanting to get rid of it in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But realizing that we're all these adults and other young kids who stutter existed in the world and were the air to fighting for their rights made me feel so much more confident. And yeah, I think your poem has made being a person who stutters so much better.
Wow, thank you for saying that. You know, I really appreciate, well, okay, first of all, how old are you?
I am 13 currently.
That's crazy. Okay, you present as much older, like you're very mature emotionally. That's awesome. But I really appreciate what you shared because part of why I wrote the poem and like why I do a lot of the writing that I do is because I think it's super important to honor all of our experiences and all of our feelings and not just the good ones. And I think that sometimes this like narrative of like toxic positivity is so prevalent. And I really try to push back against that. Like you can be strong and powerful and positive and also have come from a place of like feeling not very good. And you can feel those things at the same time. And I think that you have a good sense of like that complexity that I think is really important to like be authentic.
Yeah, so sometimes I feel super confident, like I can, not ought to do anything, but I like feel a lot more confident some days.
Mm-hmm.
And other days I feel super uncomfortable and nervous, especially when I'm meeting a new people I've never met before. I can get kind of stressed out or worried that they're going to make fun of me or something like that. And I feel like I can experience both of those things and understand that I'm going to have like kind of higher moments and lower moments at the same time and understand how to manage both. And I think your work really shows how you can feel both at the same time.
Well, thank you for saying that. I mean, I appreciate that. That's the goal, is that it holds that. So I'm glad that you can see that. But I mean, that's awesome. I think you have a good perspective. Wow, yeah, you're like amazing. Like I can't believe how mature you are. I'm so impressed.
I'm gonna rejoin the conversation. Yeah, so Tiffani, I echo what you're saying. Sari has really shed light and really put into words like this holding space for both, right? Like how challenging is it to feel joy and sadness at the same time, or in that same narrative, be able to move from one end to the other and then back again. So Sari, thank you for being able to express that in words. I want to check in if there's any more questions that you might have, Sari, or Tiffani, might you have for Sari about her performance on the poem, which we're going to send to you because it's amazing.
Awesome.
will.
I would love to see your performance.
I will send it to you as soon as I can.
Cool.
Yeah, I think the only error that I had made with the performance is that I had pronounced your or last name wrong, because I didn't know how it was supposed to be pronounced. So I said it with the VVE as a part of it, and I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. The number of people who have pronounced my name wrong are far more than the number of people who pronounce my name right. Like, absolutely don't care. So.
Yeah, I did not add is sweet Yiddish, so that's where I got my last name. And if people really don't know how to spell it at all, or will say like, is it Ford? I'm like, no, that's it. No.
Yeah, you get it.
That's amazing. So, Tiffani and Siri, we're going to post this in a blog with both of your permission. So, if you both had a message for Tiffani, for you, it's like to perhaps your younger self and then other people around Siri's age who stutter, what would it be? And Siri, after having read the poem and then performed it, like, what are your messages that you'd want to leave someone who might be watching this?
Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You go for first.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, that's a great question. I think that the message that I would send to my younger self and to other kids who are younger, or especially like teenagers, is that like your voice is powerful, and like even if it sounds different, that doesn't mean it sounds wrong or bad, or anything about it is less powerful. If anything, it means it's more powerful, actually. I'll share it really quickly, like a little anecdote from a kid I just saw like in therapy like a second ago, who is just amazing. Like, she was reading this letter from another kid who wrote a letter to their stutter. And she was like, this is a great letter, but I feel like I don't relate to this because like my stutter isn't like this separate part of me. Like, I wouldn't be talking to it as something separate. It's just me and it's my voice. And like, there's no distinction between me and like the way my voice and the way my brain works and the way my voice sounds. Like, it's just who I am, and like, it's just how it is. And I think that's like a really beautiful way to like integrate that into yourself. Like, this is just our diverse voice, and like, it's powerful despite stuttering and because of stuttering.
That's amazing. How old was she?
She was only 11. I could not believe the wisdom she had. It was amazing.
That's crazy. I think the thing I would say to the like very very beginning of stuttering me, and also the other kids, is that even though these things are really challenging, it's really going to be okay, because your voice is really strong. It's going to be able to bring you through a bunch of other very very hard things in your life. And like it's not trying to hurt you, it's just a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also that as your feelings over all of this is going to change a lot, and that it's accepting and understanding all of them is probably the most important part. And just getting to see how your feelings change and why they're happening to begin with is the thing you need to focus on the most.
That's beautiful. Thank you both. We're going to end our conversation here. Thank you so much.